Today we are going to discuss with the representative from the ESADE University from Barcelona, and we are going to find out some useful information that I'm sure that you are interested in. Hello, can you please tell us your name so the students they have the spelling and to know what is your role at the University of ESADE?
Hello everyone, my name is Maria Moline and I'm the Associate Director of Recruitment and Admissions at ESADE for all of the candidates that are applying from Romania to an undergraduate program. Okay, so basically I'm the responsible for their candidacies. So we are able to guide them through the process.
So you are the person who is checking actually the documents and looks at the personal statement?
Well, yeah, me and the admissions team, yes.
Okay, so you are a very valuable person for the students who are going to watch this.
All right, that's
so
good.
I want to ask you regarding the admission process. I saw that you have, for the admission process for the undergraduate, I saw that you have a lot of steps. When I looked at your presentation today, it looked like, whoa, a lot of things. I saw there something about an interview, something about an assessment, an application file. Can you please share us more about the steps for the admission process?
Yes, of course. Well, it may seem very long and super hard and difficult, but it's not. That much steps, okay? Basically, you first of all need to enter online, start your application. They will require you to fill in some personal information. After that, you will be able to upload some required documentation as the last 4 years of your transcripts plus the current academic transcripts. On top of that, you will also be needing to complete some motivational essays, which are important for the admissions committee to learn more about the student's profile, right? Okay. We all need to look for that fit, what will make the student to feel in their same atmosphere where they feel they will be flourishing all their talents. So we are looking for that profile that will match with ESADE. Within the transcripts, the admissions committee will be looking at their academic performance, which is the key for them to succeed into the program once they enter ESADE. Once they finish this, they can send in their application. There is a cost of 135 euros. If there is any student with a need that cannot afford that, they can request a fee waiver, okay? In order to do that, they will need to complete until the 99% their application and then request it to the general inbox, which is admissions@esade.edu. Once they send that application, they will be able to either present an SAT test or an ACT or take the ESADE admissions test, okay? Which is
this is the second part of the process.
Correct.
Now. Okay.
Yes. So once you send your application, we go to the test part. Either you present one of these two tests or you take the ESADE admissions test, which is going to be online. It requires no preparation, and they have some instructions and a sample of it on the website, all right?
I'm sorry to
No.
I want to ask you,
Yes.
so for the first step is the admission file, and in the admission file you said that you have to send the school transcripts, the motivation letter, and I want to ask you something about the school transcripts. We often have students who are saying, I am coming from very competitive high school and from a very competitive class, and during the high school period I obtained lower grades. But I have a lot of extracurriculars. I founded 2 clubs in my high school, or I was like very active in the extracurriculars. In this case, the university can can admit me, and I can send them an email mentioning that, hey guys, I'm from a very competitive school, a very competitive class. Maybe I have also some troubles with the teacher, that maybe the teacher didn't like me, or this might be some excuses or some special cases that you can consider in the admission, or you just look at the final grades in the end and you are like, you apply like the ethics being like considering equal everyone. How is the procedure? Because we're often asked about this.
Yeah, okay. So I believe, first of all, we need to do a little bit of common sense. Okay. So if my grades are all very bad, nothing else will matter for sure, because in the end, we are looking for a good academic performance for us to make sure that you will not suffer when you enter the program. However, another situation is I have this subject that for me is a nightmare, because I'm not really looking to move forward with this subject because it's not for me. I think that my talents are, guiding me towards another direction. Or I had something specific, whatever situation that makes sense, or that you had that, but you can also see in the record of transcripts that there was he moved forward after having that situation, for example. An evolution, correct. And there is a space inside the application, inside the motivational essays, where we ask them, how do you evaluate your academic performance? So that's the moment where you say, this happened for that reason, or this is how I see myself as a student, or this is how I like to do the things in school. Everything that they feel it's going to be, interesting for the admissions committee to understand a little bit more which type of student they are, or why there is something there that it's hard to understand. That's another case, right? Rather than the first one, which I believe there's then everything will, be seen as excuses.
For example, we had a student, or we have students that they are professional players for sports, and they compete at a national level or international level, and of course they don't have the same amount of time to invest in education. They are good at school, but they are not like the most competitive in high school. And usually parents, they are saying, but why the university doesn't understand that this student has this amount of the time invested in these competitions, this sports competition, and has also good grades. The university should appreciate this, comparing with the student that didn't do any extras, and did only school.
We do consider them, and I do think it's positive. From speaks a lot about a student that can handle both lives together. But of course, it needs to be inside limits, right? I mean, we then will not be looking for an excellent student, but for a good one, yes. Right? I think that if you are able to handle that part of your life, which is very hard, plus you can handle the last 2 years of education, you're for sure a good profile, a good student, and definitely you know how to set a goal and how to get there, and that's important for us as well. So we do a holistic approach of their candidacies, okay? So not all of the cases will be the same, right? Ones may be highlighted for only their academic performance, others not. But in general, at ESADE, we are looking for that student that is very active. So it's a good student, but he's active. He's getting involved in everything, extracurriculars, languages, volunteers. It doesn't need to be everything together. It's just whatever you feel passionate about, you should go and, you know, explore yourself as well. I think that's the combination, the admissions combination is looking for.
Okay. We have the following situations. We have students who are coming from, let's say, lower ranked schools. And where the grades may be easier to be achieved, like very high grades, you get those easier compared with the ones who are in a very good, like very competitive high schools, where the grades are like the good grades or the high grades are not so fast to achieve. And the parents are asking, and also the students, they are saying, but in this case, it counts. The name of the school, it counts that I'm coming from Tudor Vianu, which is like the top school in Romania, compared with a not so well-known high school. So it counts the name of and the level.
Let's say we know how to evaluate each transcript or each profile, but also it's important to understand that we receive applications from all over the world. So here is where the test, gets important, because that's our way to evaluate everyone, no matter which country you're coming, nationality, educational system, public, private. Everyone will be evaluated in the same line, within the same conditions, right?
Okay.
So that's why we do this holistic approach. It's not only your grades that you can get them easy or less easy. It's not only about your profile that you can write things that, they can be or not, even though you can really tell when a motivational letter is having a very motivated student behind. And also the test help us to see the reality. So in the admission file, you said, so the admission file is the instrument, the tool that you are using in order to evaluate the profile of the student, like based on the papers. But then you have the admission test, where you can see the reality of that student, depending on doesn't matter from where country or high school he is coming from. Okay, I understand. And what about the mathematics? I want to ask you as well. You said in the presentation about the mathematics that students need to study mathematics if they want to come to a business profile bachelor degree. Just for you to know, in Romania we have 4 years of high school, and there are two type of streams. There is the humanities one and the science one. For the humanities one, they are studying mathematics only in the first 2 years of university high school, and they don't have mathematics in the final year. And there is also another one, the social sciences, which is also in the humanities, but they are studying every year mathematics, but it's like 1 or 2 hours per week mathematics. So it's a lower standard for mathematics. For the business profile applications, for the bachelor degrees, do you need mathematics for all the high school period and also in the final diploma? There is a general requirement, which is, and this applies to all of the systems, and then we'll go to the Romanian baccalaureate, which is we need to have mathematics through the last 2 years of education, and that's mandatory.
Last 2 years of education. In Romania, it's going to be 11th and 12th grade.
Correct.
The last 2 years.
Okay, so they need to have mathematics.
Okay.
And then the next question is, do your mathematics give you the level to meet that requirement? Most of the students that we've been receiving from the Romanian baccalaureate are coming from the informatics, computer science field, the specialization. So we need to evaluate their level. Those that you say they're only, I think you said the social sciences, they're only having mathematics through the last 2 years.
Yeah, they have.
But only few hours.
Yeah.
We will ask them the mathematics syllabus.
Okay, in order to see.
And there, the mathematics department at ESADE will decide if you meet or not with the criteria. Because if you're coming from an IB, we already know there's these 4 subjects that we know everything. But then it will depend on the school and the curriculum you're taking. We will be asking the curriculum, and that's when we will be telling you if yes or no.
So there is no exam that I can take in order to supply this mathematics.
Unfortunately,
no. Okay.
No.
I understand.
No, okay. But I would say that it's always good to ask, to raise the hand and say, hey, this is my situation. Could you please double check? And then we will be doing that pre-evaluation to see if they meet or not the requirement. Okay.
And my last question would be about the admission test. There is any tutor, any person that is doing preparation for this test, or that you are recommending go to that company or to that student?
No, we don't, because there's no it's not possible to prepare. We do have some short online sessions where our colleagues would be explaining a little bit what are they going to find that day, but it's the same that you can find in the website in a PDF. And students just need to understand that it's not like the SAT.
It's easier.
It's not easier. It's just that you cannot prepare for it. It's a different type of test.
But what is about in this test that I cannot prepare? It's like, for me, it seems like impossible not to prepare for a test. Like, what is about in this test that I cannot prepare in advance?
It's difficult to explain it. I think that
or where they can check this information on the website.
The good thing is to go on the website. There is a place where it says admissions test.
Okay.
You pick the bachelor that you want, and then you enter, and you will come up with a lot of information. For you will see some of the instructions and a sample of each part.
Okay, so I can understand from that sample what is the topic in general, and if I've studied those topics in school, or maybe I can.
With their preparation, they'll be able to succeed. Okay.
Okay.
They will not have a problem, and I always say to my candidates that they just need to be calm, breathe, and go one question after the other one. That's the key. Because if you become nervous and you get crazy about it, then it will not, they will have problems and they will not succeed but it's not something where they need to be crazy about. Okay.
Then thank you very much for the answers for these questions, because usually these are like the most common questions that we receive from our students, from the Romanian students. We will be in touch, and the students are going to be in touch with you from this presentation of today. So there is anything particular that you would like to send, to transmit, like to the Romanian students that are applying to ESADE?
Yes.
If there is anything.
As we're talking about the admissions process, I think it's important to highlight that at ESADE the process goes from October until June, or until we have places available. Okay, the process is 100% online, so it's very straightforward, and they need to understand that a good moment to apply is from October until January, okay? Because then here it comes everything about accommodation and all those things that they may be having difficulties if they apply late, as well if they are interested in scholarships, awards. That's applying early. It's always gonna increase your chances for being admitted, for having a scholarship, an award. Everything, it's going to be more straightforward.
Thank you very much, Maria,
Okay.
for for all your time.
Thank you as well.
So, dear students, when you are applying or considering applying to ESADE, what I understood from what Maria explained is the fact that you need to have a good profile, meaning good grades at school. Our colleague Alexandra was mentioning that it's recommended to have above 9 out of 10. You need to be active with their extracurriculars. And here Maria mentioned that they are having they have a holistic approach, so they are looking to all kind of activities that you've done during your high school period. It's important to show that you have this motivation to study at ESADE and you had the motivation to do that particular activity, and that they are looking as well at the admission test, or you have the option to do the SAT or their admission test. There is no preference from the admission office to one or the other. So if you are following these instructions that Maria mentioned here, for sure you are going to increase your chances of admission and to arrive in a great environment at an international university. Thank you for being here with us. I wish you success with your application, and you can contact us if you want to be, and we can put you in contact further with Maria from the admission office. Thank you.
Thank you very much.